And the next session, this is going to be the last session before lunch, and it is going to be by Shalin Shodhan from Masala Games, and he's going to talk about telling stories to the world.
Because Hi everybody. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's the last session before lunch, so I guess I'm in your way between you and food, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. I don't have any hampers to give away, but hopefully I can give you a great message today, and hopefully you can take away some inspiration from this talk. So a bit about myself. I've been in games and film for about 20 years. I was in the US for 11 years. I got to work at Pixar Animation Studios, where I worked on these 6 films, from Toy Story 3 to Finding Dory. I was also at Electronic Arts, where I got to work at Maxis, which is a studio that made a game called Spore. I was on the Spore team for 4 years, from when it was a prototype all the way till it shipped. And now, I'm at my favorite job, which is director of Masala Games. We are a company that is headquartered right here in Ahmedabad. I'm from Ahmedabad, born and brought up here, and we hire all over India, but our headquarters is in Ahmedabad. And we have a fantastic team of people. We do services, we do original games, and generally have a lot of fun. So today's message, I want to start by just kind of pointing out that we have a problem. We have a problem with how India is represented or unrepresented in games. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're trying to do about it, and then hopefully inspire you to do something about it, because there's actually, within this problem, there's a great opportunity. So I think everybody knows the show Friends. Depending on your generation, instead of Friends, you might have watched How I Met Your Mother or Big Bang Theory or something like that. My point is, there has always been a TV show for us to get a window into American culture. It's always been there, right? If I'm a person in America wanting to get a window into Indian culture, what do I have to watch, right? And why is it always this? Why is it always ancient, epic, magic, fantasy place? Is this how we dress and roam around? Like, is this who we are? This is our past, right? And it's great, and it's very exciting, and there's awesome stuff, awesome stories to tell in our culture for sure. But I'm here to say that modern India is equally, if not more interesting. Why? Because 18% of the world lives here, right? Almost a fifth of the world lives in modern India. We've got extreme diversity. That ancient India and the ways of the modern world are intertwined in our modern India. So it's got the most interesting bits from everything. And so how is it completely missing from games? How are there exactly no games about modern India? How is that possible, right? We have to do something about it. And if we don't do something about it, who's going to do something about it, right? So when we decided to make original games at Masala Games, we wanted to address this problem. So the game we're making is called Detective Dotson. It's a game about an Indian detective in modern India who goes around and has to solve cases that are basically narrative-driven, and there are cases about things that, that campaign, It Happens Only in India? It's like stories like that, really weird, really cool stories that only happen here, that are part of our culture, that we can celebrate and bring to the entire world to see what modern India is like. Rather than always showing ancient, epic, poor place, we want to show the world that we actually live in and have an accurate representation, an entertaining but accurate representation of our world. So that's Detective Dotson. I'd love to show you guys a trailer. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so that's Dotson. It's full of characters that are endearing and delightful and vibrant, like the people that live in our country. We've chosen to make them pixel art because we really wanted our characters to be lovable and cute, just like the Indian people. But our environment is 3D, just to make that juxtaposition and that contrast pop out even more. I'm going to show you some fun stuff that we can do with our character system. We have a full-on character customization system because we want to show all kinds of Indian dresses and all kinds of Indian apparel and looks that the players can engage with. And once you've made your character, we want to do something fun with it, right? So let's celebrate some of the things that only Indian people do. Like this thing, how we use this to mean so many different things, right? So we have a head nod generator where you can type in whatever you want and send it as a GIF on WhatsApp. And you can do it in multiple languages. So us being from, Gujarat and being from Ahmedabad, we want all the Gujarati things in there as well. That you can make a head nod of different speeds and different parameters and send it to all your friends. So that's some fun with characters. What about the environments? Yeah, my favorite is Jalsa. Like when anybody asks you, in Gujarat, when everybody asks you, hey, how's it going? Kyu chale je, su chale je? Answer is always Jalsa. For the environments, again, we wanted to go realistic. We're very fortunate. We have our lead designer is a trained architect. So he made beautiful drawings of how the environment should look like. And what we want the player to feel is kind of like what an Indian summer vacation feels like when we were all in school and how it felt so nice and cozy and warm and fun. We kind of want that feeling. This is what it looks like in game. So I think we're able to do a pretty good job of matching the concepts and the vision that our team had and kind of execute on that. You only explore sort of the front plane, so the camera is always fixed, but you get to have a lot of fun exploring all the different parts up and down in the level. So that's a bit about the environments. And then we said, well, why just make this as a game? It's a narrative-driven adventure. Why not make a whole story around it? So we took the same assets that we're making for the game, put it into Unreal Engine, and we're shooting an animated series for Detective Dotson. The animated series will launch before the game, and I'd love to show you some of it. These are just some visuals from our animated series. Yeah, this is just some shots from our show. And you might be thinking, Shalin, are you crazy? Why would you make, oh, thank you, appreciate it, thank you. Are you crazy? Why are you making an animated show and a game? Why are you investing so much? Well, it's a crowded marketplace, and we have to figure out a way to stand out. And for a story-driven, IP-based game, I think it makes a lot of sense if we plan from day one that we want to make an animated series and a game at the same time. We're actually able to reuse the assets, send the assets to Unreal Engine for the kind of output you see, the cinematic output, and send the same assets to Unity for cross-platform game development. So that's what we're doing with Detective Dotson. Now I'd like to get into some of the challenges around building something like this. So this was our first concept of what we wanted to make, where we literally put our character inside a photograph, and it was very obvious to us that this look is going to work. And we wanted to make India look very realistic and the characters look very cartoony. So to get started, as all of us do, we went looking for some assets that we could just purchase and get started, right? There's almost nothing out there that you could get that represents India in terms of assets. And so we had to invest and make all of it. It's a little hard to see in the light, but we basically went through and made like everything you can imagine to represent India. We've got a whole set of vehicles, we've got a whole set of buildings and locations. And then we kind of caught ourselves falling into the same trap that I'm saying we should not fall into, right? All the assets we were making kind of looked old and like we were making that magical fantasy mistake again ourselves. And we were like, wait, what are we doing? That's exactly what we're trying to change. Because we as consumers of media have been so brainwashed into thinking about what India should look like, that even as artists, our output was derivative of that stereotype. So we stopped, we went back to the drawing board and started making a little bit more modern assets as well, because this is also India. We have the largest stadium in the world, right? All of that is also India, and we wanted to make sure that all of that is equally represented in our game. So that was an interesting challenge where we had to kind of build India all by ourselves and also be very conscious of how we build it. We're really hoping that in the future that other creators don't run into this challenge, and I would love to open source all of our materials after our game and show launches so that other creators can take it and build stuff with it. Thank you. The second challenge is, well, will people that are not Indian really care about this, or will they say like, oh, this is for Indian people, this is not for me? And so that was obviously something that we were very concerned about. But let me show you some results of when we put the game out and have streamers all over the world play it.
We asked creators to play our game, and this is what the reaction was.
Gelin. You win 15 mi?
Oh my god, it just what? Oh my god. The music is fire. The music is fire.
Oh, I'm sick. I can hang light. Okay. Doggy got a bone. Stop. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm actually blown away.
¡Hola! A raspar, ¿eh? Vamos a cruzar los dedos. Bien, compré 5, me llevé 15, papá. Multiplicando. Hola, Susana.
Shelby! What the f... Aim and shoot? Já, protože se podívají do mé odpadky za peníze.
Hello?
तो टपका होटल फट गया.
I love that guy. He's great. Yeah, so I think the answer is that people are hungry for this kind of stuff. It's very different than what they might have experienced before, but there is a key kind of point to remember here, which is that the gameplay is very familiar. So you have to meet people where they are comfortable, where they already are, and then take them over into something new, right? And that's what we've tried to do. Our gameplay isn't something new or inventive. It's basically an adventure game that everybody kind of knows or has played at some point. It's just that the setting is completely novel. And that has worked for us in taking them across a bridge into what we want them to play. People have loved the sense of place, they love the music, and it just shows that the Western audience is tired of superheroes and zombies, and they want to see stuff like this come out, which of course represents the opportunity that we have. And yeah, I just want to conclude by saying that this is not just an artistic motivation, it is very much a good business plan to explore this white space, stand apart in a crowded marketplace. And look, we have this unfair advantage, right? Only we can make games about India because we know about India, we live in it every day. When somebody else outside of India makes a game about India, it's not going to be appropriate. They're going to club all the Arabic themes and everything and make it look like India, right? The stereotype that's been going on forever and ever. And we need to stop that. That'll only stop if we take charge of our culture and represent it in our own way and tell our stories. So that's my message to you. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, you can wishlist the game. It's out on Steam, and you can check out more information on dotson.in.
Thank you, Shalin. That was a really, really cool presentation. Congrats on building a really cool game. And somewhere I think games like this should come out of different parts of India. And that's where real India is. And people keep saying it's not the metros alone. And the reason for us to do developer days in not the main cities in India that are really big gaming hubs and rather come to emerging gaming hubs is precisely this. That we want stories to be told from different parts of India, and we want to bring the gaming world to the different cities in India. And Shalin, that's really inspirational. Thank you. I would like somebody from, sir, to give away a token of appreciation to Shalin. Thank you, Mr. Sachin Kankaje. Thank you, Shalin.